Yo guys, what's up? It's Cory Talaska here. We're back here for another vlog, and this one's gonna be a little weird because I filmed this entire thing and didn't record audio. So as you can see, we are pulling the 2J, but I already pulled it, so this is technically the future for you guys, or for the video. But I voiced over everything that I videoed, so there is still context to everything. So, and I think it came out alright. So I hope you guys, it doesn't mess with it too much. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and moving forward from that, I now have the audio on, so nice. Anyway, what we are doing is we are pulling the 2J out of the car and getting the car ready for the fabrication and everything that has to happen. I won't go too in depth about it because it happens throughout the video, even though you can see that the engine is already out. But that's where it's going to start, with us popping off the exhaust, drive shaft, getting everything disconnected, and yeah, so let's jump into the time lapse of that. So the 2J is pretty much ready to come out right now. We just have the harness and a few other things. I have to pull the reservoir out to get the whole steering rack and subframe out, and then we'll put the engine hoist in to hold the engine while we do that. So then the only thing that'll be left holding the engine in is basically the trans mount in the back, since the So we got the engine on the stand, and there's really not much else we have to do to the engine in general. We're going to do an oil filter relocation kit, but everything else is pretty solid. So this thing's just going to tuck away in a corner and be ready to go. Yeah, oil came out super green. I did have looks like the front seal on the inside of the trans was shot because there was a tranny fluid inside of there. And then we pulled all the water lines out. Here I'm saying that we're going to remove the thermostat housing because we took the thermostat out. All we used it for was that basically additional fitting to run water to the turbo. Also here is, this is the main reason why we pulled everything out. And so right here, you see that gap? That's from when I hit Mike Perez about 2 years ago at Hyperfest. We didn't notice it at first, but we noticed the separation and a little bit unevenness between the left front and the right front shock tower. So we're going to take off all that seam sealer and a couple of brackets and stitch weld it all back together to make it strong. Because of that whole deal, and for whatever might happen this year, we're also going to potentially gut this car and cage it over the season, just because most of the parts from the E36 to the E46 could swap over pretty easy. So this dirty car that's just been chilling will be probably definitely the next pro car build, especially if we thrash the E36 enough, or if that front end damage that we just kind of realized is worse than we thought. I also pulled the shifter out of the car, this IRP shifter. I love this thing, but the Samsonov shifter is going to hop in, so I'm probably going to actually throw this in the E46 M3 C-Time car, just because the throw on that thing is crazy right now. But I'm stoked about the new one. Another tidbit about this car is that if you actually go back into like Caleb Quambeck's videos, he drove this exact E46 and bombed it around some fields. So we know the car's been thrashed already. Here I'm just popping off these top hats, the SLR top hats, so I can send them over to Yellow Speed and they can put them on our new 3-way coils. We got the top hats off, those are ready to ship. And then also this is our spare KRC power steering pump. I show you right here that basically it's the same as this one, but when we pressed the pulley on the first one, we didn't exactly read the instructions. So we pushed the shaft like basically through the back of the little plate right there that I'm kind of pointing out. So we're gonna send that pump back to get it rebuilt, so then we'll actually have a spare. So here, basically the bay is stripped of almost everything except for cooling and wiring, and then I do show you here that I will have to cut out one intrusion bar on each side and fix it because there's a bend in it and it goes down to the bottom box instead of the bar, which is kind of sucks because the guy who built my cage had it mocked up properly but then built it wrong, so we have to go and fix that over winter. And then also I'm probably going to take out this bar and then add another bar where I'm pointing out right now, which will clear out the space back here for a radium, the pre-built, pre-fabbed steel box for the radium fuel cell. I'll move the rear mount radiator back, and then that's kind of what I'm covering here, is that I want to put the fuel cell where those bars are right now, so I might modify the cage a bit. Okay, so here's our front subframe. Condor bushings held up, did what they needed to do. All the chase base power steering stuff was awesome. That tie rod's still bent, which we have to fix. Probably gonna get a rack rebuilt and get two racks rebuilt. One is a spare. I'm gonna replace that stock steering shaft with the Condor steering shaft, which gets rid of those rubber bushings, which is gonna be way tighter and way nicer. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. And then I'm probably gonna actually add in an additional power steering cooler in place of the stock one, or the Chase Bays one, which was replace the stock one. And while we're on cooling, this is actually the one that I'm going to clean out and use for power steering, but I use this for oil, but I have a bigger one. It's double the size of this, still Mishimoto, and then we're going to put a fan on it as well, just to try to keep oil temps a little bit closer to water temps.
Alright cats, I hope the video wasn't too weird with me voicing over stuff. I hope you guys still enjoyed it, enjoyed the content. But that's pretty much it. You know, we pulled the 2J out, we kind of disassembled all that. There's no drive train left in the car. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to try to sell. If any of you guys are interested, I do have the whole Collins ZF to 2J adapter with the flywheel and everything. I have the ACT unsprung clutch with a 6-puck disc. I have two of them. The one that has one race on it, and then this one has like one full season on it. And then also a new throwout bearing. So that's all ready. 2J is over here sitting. I have the GTX 3582 that is for sale. This is a Garrett turbo. I also have somewhere around here in a box, I also have a GT35R, which has a little bit smaller hot side of this, but then it's not a GTX, but that's also for sale. So if you are interested in either of those, hit me up on Instagram or even just leave a comment down below. But I'm curious, guys, let me know if there's anything, if you have any guesses for what like the end of this season build is. I know I've dropped a lot of names of parts we're putting in the car. I haven't really kept much of that secret, but I want to see how many of you guys are paying attention. Also, I have a couple ZF Trans if anyone's interested. And then, yeah, so hopefully we can dive into this car right away with all the stuff we want to do in the back, in the front, all of it. And then also we can dive into the seat time car. I did get a pretty big package from Big Duck Club this last week with a bunch of E46 stuff. So I'm really excited to do that. And then I also got to get a huge order in from Carlos at Condor. I got to hook up the whole seat time car, and I got to do a couple more things with the rear end of the C36, and maybe along with some spare stuff. That's going to be big for me on next year in FD, is to have spare parts, because one thing you don't have a lot of is time. And so I want to be able to unbolt and rebolt, even if that means a whole like steering, everything just ready to go. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to continue the process and have another video up shortly. So peace guys, thanks, like, comment, subscribe.